Okay, so
I think
let's
we got
get
it.
warmed up. Let's get started here. Last week or the week before, we created, or we actually copied for you this report from Steve Thomas on the affordability. And most of you have a copy. If you don't have a copy of this one, I'll get you a copy. But it talks about $3,000 a month is what the client wants to pay. And at 2.65% interest, the client could afford to buy with 20% down a $930,000 house. Okay. As the interest rates rise, the affordability as of this one said 4.25. We're above 4.25 now, but this one said 4.25. They could only afford to buy a $762,000 house if they wanted to keep the payments at $3,000 a month. Okay, so we did that. Okay, that's okay. The one that's on the screen is the one that I had Steve Thomas prepare. I don't have that copy, but that's okay. That one goes from a million, what is that, 98?
1,088,000.
All right, that goes from 1,088,000 you could buy with a $4,000 a month payment and 10% down at 2.75%, you could afford that house and your payment would be $4,000 a month. Everybody with me? Okay. If you go to the far right, I don't know if you can zoom that in all the way. So right now go back a little bit. So when I talked with Barry earlier, he said we're around 4.75% and inching up to 5%. In fact, our script that we use says that the interest rates are north of 4% for the first time in 3 years. They're going to go north of 5%. The only reason I'm bringing this up, this isn't to scare you or to let you know, this is where the market is. Okay, this is the reality of the marketplace. So as you can see that at 5%, they can only afford $827,000. So you went from $1,088,000 to $827,000. I don't know exactly what the math is on that, but that's a couple $100,000 of buying power lost. You guys get that? Okay. So we use it from the real estate perspective in terms of getting a seller off the fence. The seller would get off the fence by saying, look, if you wait and you think interest rates are going up, that's the question. Do you think interest rates are going up or down, Mr. and Mrs. Seller or Mr. and Mrs. Buyer? Okay. Now, what would they say in today's market?
They're going up.
Going up. Okay. So now we don't know how far up, but we know they're going up. Well, we can show them specifically what the buying power is lost. Well, how does that affect the seller? The seller has pool of buyers is shrinking every day because they can afford less. So if 100 people could buy a $1,088,000 house, as the market goes and gets more expensive in interest rates, then the pool of buyers from 100 goes to 90, goes to 80, goes to 70, goes to 60, goes to 4 people over there on the right. Okay, which is what I had we had interest rates at 21%. Forgot the year, but we were doing business in 21% interest rates. Okay, true story. And we were closing deals. I don't remember. You don't remember the
82, 83.
Okay, yeah, fact. Okay, and we were closing deals. So, but if you can imagine, instead of having 10 buyers for a piece of property, maybe you had 1 or 2. Okay, so we weren't selling a lot of properties, but they were selling and closing escrow. From a buyer perspective, if you show this to the buyer and say, look, are interest rates going up? Or are they coming down? No, they're going up. Exactly. So your buying power is eroding every single day. And we're in an interesting catch-22 situation because prices are still rising and interest rates are rising. That's a crazy place to be.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a crazy place to be. That's why we want to only deal with half the buys and half the sells. If the person doesn't have to buy and doesn't have to sell, they're probably not going to pull the trigger right now. That makes sense? So we work on that. I share this with you. So we have copies of that. And Jesse, maybe you could post the link in the chat box for anyone in the other offices. Make sure Robert has a copy for agents that'll ask him. So I wanted to put that out there. The second thing is, this is something that was printed out, and I saw this morning and thought that it was one of the best visuals I've seen, okay? And so if you guys would just pass a few of these out. Thank you. I just need to keep one, so if you just pass that out. So this chart talks about Freddie Mac 30-year fixed mortgage rate, and it starts in January of 2021, okay? January of 2021, and it shows the interest rate on how it rose. In January 2021, we were at 2.74%. It rose a little bit. It fell a little bit through the year. In August and September was very low. And then look what happened from December to today. It not only went up, it almost went straight up.
40%.
Almost went straight up, okay? So that's a pretty dramatic thing if you want to show something to your clients, okay? So I made sure that you had copies of
We can't.
that. And Jesse, if you'll post that for the group, that'll be great. Thank you. So why do I bring that up? Why do I want to be negative?
To create urgency.
Well, I want to create a little bit of urgency, and I want to remind you that if this in fact is going on in the marketplace, you're in the best place you possibly can be. Okay? The best place. And I said this 2 years ago when I said to the group, we're going into uncharted territory because of COVID and all this other kind of stuff. But if you're going to Afghanistan or you're going to one of those foreign countries, do you want your son or daughter or yourself being led by somebody who just got their real estate license?
No.
Or somebody who's maybe a graduate of West Point or Annapolis, but they've never been in a battle, they've never been in a war, they've never had to deal with the stuff that we're dealing with through that 2 years? Or do you want to be with somebody that's a crusty old sergeant that, you know, that's fought in 6 or 8 battles of inflation and years of time? That who do you want your son or daughter, if they have to go to war, being led by? Who do you want to be led by?
Yay.
And that's really a very big decision today. It's very interesting. As the market is getting tougher, as it's getting, Robert and I are getting a lot more phone calls. Noelle's getting a lot more phone calls from people that saying, well, what do you do again? How do you help again? What are you guys working on? So what I'm bringing back to the group is what I wanted to start with is some of the great things that happened last year production-wise. And then I wanted to also talk about some of the systems that maybe you don't know about. And then I wanted to give an attaboy and attagirl to some of the agents that maybe some of them you know the names, maybe some that you don't, and some of the percentages of increase and opportunities. But for masters in 2021, Masters versus the competition, and I'll go into those numbers in a minute. But we're the number one producing Century 21 firm in LA County. We're number 5 in California. We're number 17 nationally. 4 of our teams are in the top 25 in California. 6 are in the top 100. That's huge. Okay. 8 individual agents are in the top 100 in California. So basically, we have 8, 12, we have about 15 agents, 16 agents that are in the top 100 in California out of 185 agents. That's amazing. And I'll show you the numbers in a minute on how the other offices compare with that. I'll go into, in fact, we'll go into those numbers right now. Jesse, if you can, please. Not only didn't I have a car this morning, I don't have my glasses. You got it for me? Is it not sharing now? There, okay.
I have some 1.75s.
Not enough, but thank you. So the first line is Century.
You zoomed in a little bit for that other one. Zoom out.
Sorry?
Oh, do you need to zoom
More?
Well, no, we need to see more of the screen, yeah.
No, we'll slide.
Okay.
We'll slide the screen, but so that I can read it, it has to be
Oh, I
that
see what
screen.
you're saying.
Okay, so let me read through this. Highlight the 185. Highlight the 199, Jesse. Yeah. So when we took all this information from something called Broker Matrix, it's a software that lays over the multiple listing service that we've subscribed to for 20 years. Okay, some companies have it and some don't. I mean, it's not super expensive, but it's not cheap. But it's something we use as an excellent tool. So, apples and apples. God bless you. We had 199 agents that show up here. Now, every agent that's in our company is a member of the MLS. It can't be any other way. However, just so you know, there are companies that we compete with that don't have all their members as MLS members. Okay, so we're just trying to do apples and apples here. All right. So we have 199 people, 14 of those are duplicates. The duplicates are mainly Cindy Rubin because we belong to about 14 or 15 different boards. So we pull her out. And when you see like the next line down, Century 21 George has 9 duplicates. So it must be managers or brokers in their offices. So we have 186, 185 agents that are in the multiple listing service. Highlight above that. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Okay. The number of listings our company had taken, according to the multiple listing service, was 690 listings. And that means that it's 55, 56% of all of our closed business is listing sold. That's closed business, doesn't count anything that's open. If you go to the next one, more. Thank you. That means, go one more. That on average, and then go back, Jesse, so you highlight on the 3.73. On average, an agent in our company, looking at the entire company, those are agents that produce a lot and don't produce a lot, on average, take 4 listings per year. Not an impressive number until you see what the other companies are doing. Okay, so Jesse, okay, so let's go. So that percent of the buyer business is 562 transactions or buyer business. Move over a little bit, please. That's well, that's, you're going too far, Jess. Percentage of the buyer business is 44.46. Total transactions was 1243. That isn't exactly accurate because we actually paid Century 21 on more transactions. So we're not sure where the missing deals are, but somehow there's some of those that are missing in there. Number of transactions closed per person is 672 per person. So 7 transactions closed. Now, Jesse, arrow down. Century 20, excuse me, Coldwell Banker George, what's the number, Jesse?
1.56.
Okay, we're at 672, which is not terribly impressive. Coldwell Banker George is what?
1.56.
1.56. The next one is
RMA.
RMA, so Realty Masters Associates. So that's a lot of top producers that work in that kind of a company. So they're at 6. So it's a little more impressive. There's EXP, 3.74, about half of what we do. So I'm just saying, apples to apples. All right. So Jesse, go down a little bit more. This is KW. So they're 3.8, and then we go on and on and on. I don't want to bore you with the numbers, but as you can see, we're running at about twice the average of most real estate companies that compete with us. Everybody with that?
Bravo.
Okay, thank you. So it's leadership, it's what we do for our agents, it's how we stay on top of you guys. It's all the little stuff. It's that 7 o'clock phone call that you get in the morning. Okay, some of you don't like that. Some of you call me twice a week and say, "Oh my God, you were talking to me this morning. I can't believe you were talking to me. Stop talking to me." Move over a little bit to the right, please. Okay, so these are interesting numbers. Let's just go arrow up to masters, all the way up, all the way. Okay, so in the total volume in the company, we did just short of $1 billion in closed business, closed sales volume, okay? If you take that number and you divide it by the 185, guys with me? Remember, we have 185 agents on average. That means that to the right, column N, the average agent in our company earns $127,000 per person on average. That includes the people that do nothing and includes the people that do a lot. Now, not all that impressive, again, unless you look at what your competition's doing. So the next one down is Coldwell Banker George. Their number is how much, Jesse?
39,521.
Okay, compared to,
127,754.
okay, you see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying? You're starting out at a much higher place. Jesse,
Almost 3 times as much.
well, this is almost 3 times, exactly. Go
It
down.
is 3 times.
Yeah. So Realty Masters, their per person production was close to ours, not the number, but close to ours. But the properties they're selling and the money that they're grossing is 76,000. So they're doing about half, little over half of what you guys are earning. So go down a little bit. EXP, what's that number? I can't read it. $66,000. Okay, that is half. Okay, and they're supposed to have the biggest, the baddest, the toughest, the greatest, etc. Help me welcome Nancy Mellinger from our Arrowhead office. Good job. Good job. We're kind of working on that. Thanks for coming down. It was a long drive.
Lost.
Okay. So that's the EXP. I don't know what the next one down, Jess, please. Oh, KWLA was 74,000. I think you go down a little bit further. Go ahead a little bit further. 73. Yeah, Orange County, interestingly enough, let me just share a statistic with you. When I looked at the numbers the other day, the average sales price in the CRMLS was $1.1 million for the entire CRMLS, which includes properties in Arrowhead, out to Ventura, and down to Carlsbad, and to the Inland Empire, okay? All kinds of different markets. 1.1 average sales price. Orange County, just under 1.5 million. Average, okay? Interesting stuff. Okay, so let's go arrow down a little bit. Arrow down a little bit, that's Evergreen. And that Century 21 All-Stars is about a little over half of where we are. Go down. Citrus is,
54,000.
what's that, a third of what we are? Something like that. And Century 21 Peak was 43,000. Yeah, and they're actually, it's interesting. They have a Northridge market, and Encino and that area, which tends to be a little higher. I want to share some numbers there. Okay, so out of 1,500 properties that we closed more or less last year, how many of those do you think are $1 million and above?
Over half.
No, nobody's over half. That's 750.
20%.
Well, I thought it was an impressive number. It was 200. Okay.
Say that question again.
How many properties over $1 million did we close? Think about how many you closed that are $1 million or more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, not that many. All right. So we sold 200, of which 65, I guess it was, 65 were 2 million and above. So we do handle expensive properties, just in case anybody's curious or you're curious. Okay. All right. So questions on anything you guys have seen so far? No? Something I am, if you, Jesse, go back up. And then to the right. To the right, percentage of agents. Okay, hold on. So go to the left a little bit. All right, so to the right, Jesse, one column. We have, what's the number there?
66.
So think about this. There's 185 agents in the company, okay? Like I said, from brand new agents to superstars. 66 of them closed $4 million and above. $4 million and above, okay? Which is what percentage, Jesse?
35 points.
So 35%. So go down to go to the percentage. George had 12% of their staff. RMA had 23% of their staff. Go ahead. EXP had 16% of their entire staff closed $4 million and above. Now, the number's big. The number of people, because 16% of a bigger number, okay? But it's all about the percentage. How many people are doing well of the group?
That's total volume, 4 million.
Gross volume for the agent.
Okay,
Right.
not sales
For the
price.
year annual.
Sales price.
$4 million sales price.
Right.
A house for 4 million.
No.
No,
No, total
Okay,
sales.
there we go.
Total.
no. We only sold 50 houses that were 2 million and above.
Okay.
But we have a number of properties that are 2, 3, and more than I've seen in the history of the company that are 4 million and above. So, and those become actually rather nice paychecks. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Based on that comparison, how are we doing? Good?
Excellent.
Okay, good, bad? Good?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. I like his words. Keep going.
Extraordinary.
So what I wanted to do is I want to remind you now of why I think some of that's happening, okay? I'm the leader and I'm the guy that's supposed to set the pace and those kinds of things. But it's the support staff, it's the concierge group, it's our management team, it's our admin team, it's our escrow department, it's our transaction coordinator department. It's the fact that Jesse puts up with my garbage every day. Jesse has when Jesse gets up in the morning, he's had no idea what I'm going to ask him to do.
And also
Usually
Cindy.
right.
But I'm still here.
And
Keep coming back for more.
does a very nice job. Thank you. Seriously, I mean, we've got. I wrote down there. Robert and I helped put this together. We have high-level coach-on-demand coaching. You may not know that, but for some agents that don't want daily, weekly accountability, we have what we call coach on demand. Call us and we're there, and we'll coach you through a situation or coach you on a thing, because some agents, Mark Kofer and Mark Kofer is one. Al Jeffricani and Robert Kofer are being coached on a regular basis, okay, every week. But Mark Kofer doesn't want anything to do with it. Occasionally, though, he's got something he needs to talk about. So he'll give us a call, or we'll give them some statistics. That's perfectly fine. We're okay with that. That's what we call coach on demand. We have daily morning role play. I don't know that there's another broker at our level of production helping the agent. It shows up damn near every morning at 8 o'clock.
The sun comes up.
And
Isn't it every
does
day?
that, you can count on me pretty much like the sun coming up. For the last 2 years, tried to figure out how to do this, and COVID gave us the answer. Whether we liked it or not, that's what we did, and we've been doing it. And right now, we're running 60, 70 people every morning that come through the program, and you hear it every day. They're getting a little bit better. They're getting a little bit better. They get, wow, that was interesting. They got a little, and then you hear these comments all the time that say, I don't know where this came from, Neil, but the client said this, and I said that. And I got the listing. It's the craziest thing. We hear that all the time, but you can't practice a little bit occasionally for that to happen. So that's the morning daily role play. The buyer script role play, that was something we just added recently, but 9:30, 3 days a week, we have buyer scripts that we do with agents. We do that for a half an hour. The mastermind interviews. So 2 years ago, I came up with the idea that we needed to hear from others on a regular basis, and everybody was, getting sequestered at home and whatever. So I reached out to the people I know, started with the Century 21 system, with the Mike Ferry system. We get some of the top agents in the country. So right now we're at about 90 interviews that we've done since then. 90 recorded interviews, and they're all posted in one place. And you can go back and listen to these. That's really the homework assignment that I've been giving our agents since January, is listen to 2 a week. Just listen to 2 a week, no big deal. You can listen to them at lunch on Monday and lunch on Friday, and they're inspirational, they're informational. These are guys and gals that are putting their clothes on the same way as you and I, and have done really, really well and continue to do very, very well. So we have that library of interviews. It's like getting an MBA in real estate. If you did all of that and just listened to it, took some notes, put it all into one book, it'd be pretty incredible year that you did do that. Daily sales meetings. Daily, not weekly, not bi-monthly. I've heard of offices go to bi-monthly. We do a sales meeting every single day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, okay? You're at 12:15, there's stuff. It's very cool, okay? Either Robert's running it or I'm running it, or we bring in, one of the days is an interview, or we'll bring somebody in to do a talk for the group. daily sales meeting. Weekly legal eagle, Cindy's on the line with that. Let's back up and ask a question. How many brokerage companies do you know that you have access to in this marketplace where the broker is a practicing attorney?
None.
I use her too. She's
Every-
doing it out there
Everybody
right now.
does. Everybody does. Okay. It's a practicing attorney. She's licensed by the state of California. She's been doing this for 36, 37 years. And she loves what she does. And she's a little bit of a bulldog in a nice, I mean that in a nice way. If you've got a client problem, she's on your side. You want her on your side. Okay. I've been on the other side with her. You don't want to be there. Weekly legal, weekly technology class. We do that. Jocelyn runs the class for us, Alma and her group. I mean, this is this concierge thing that we're doing right now. And we haven't made a big deal about it because we can't service 185 agents today. Okay, so we've been rolling this out. But I think right now we're at about 40 agents, Alma?
Yeah.
40 agents, and we're getting better at it. But basically, it's a digital marketing, and you have to do nothing or very little, and there's no charge for it. So check it out, all right? But don't call Alma and Jocelyn and their team and say, I need it by 3:00 today, okay?
Probably not. We're gonna be eating some tacos by then.
By 10, okay. A technology class, open forum. So on Friday at 3:00, whatever's going on, 3:30, whatever's happening in your life, in your world for real estate or almost anything else, or you just want to have a bitch session, they're there, they're available, give them a call. We talked a little bit already about the master concierge, take advantage of that. And, the virtual office, I think, where can you go and be with other people just by clicking a button on your computer? I hear this all the time. Well, gee, there's nobody here. There's nobody in the office. I get it. Okay, we'd love them. This is what this is about. This is part of this. They're in Covina. We're going to be doing Long Beach and a little bit of Diamond Bar. So we'll be in the 4 offices on a regular basis. My plan is to be here prospecting and working with you, not boring you this much, every Tuesday going forward. Okay, so I'd love to see all your smiling faces. And if it's not smiling, put a smile on it, please. So there's things that we haven't even talked about. We didn't talk about the one-on-one coaching. I mean, the one-on-one coaching helps people make a difference in a very big way. And we don't coach outside the company. I get this question all the time. Will you coach me? I'll pay you. We do not coach outside of Century 21 Masters. I won't coach you. Robert won't coach you unless you work for Masters. Okay, that's the deal. All right. And to my knowledge, we've never broken it. So I certainly haven't. So that's the deal. Okay, you work for Masters, you get that kind of coaching. So what does that do? What does that help? What does all this stuff do? Well, we talked about it collectively. Well, let's talk about it individually right now. So agent success stories. Centurions who've never been centurion before. This is a list of those people for 2021. Never been centurion before. Okay. They had David Ramirez, Stephanie Chang, Yvette Jeter, Juan Carlos Morales, Monica Nogales, Abigail Ruiz, Sonia Aldana, and Yulin Wang. The least seasoned centurion was Stephanie Chang. She's only been licensed for 3 years. Okay, pretty cool. By the way, centurion last year was $288,000 gross. Okay, so you can get the context. The most seasoned centurions were Linda Holmes and Nancy Bellinger with over 36 years. So you're getting close to me, kid. What I wrote down here is no matter where you are in your real estate career, you can make a lot of money. We have centurions ranging from 3 years experience to 36 years experience. So we had by office, we had one agent from Pasadena, one agent from Marietta, 7 agents in Long Beach, one in Lake Arrowhead. She's the only agent. 2 in Irvine, 1 in Glendora, 5 in Diamond Bar, 2 in Covina, 2 in Corona, and 2 in Arcadia. So talking about agents that had done better, in the Arcadia office, Iris Lamb was up 53%, Ryan Earl was up 162%, and Yulin Wang was up 149%. Why are people up? You know, business is up 30%, 35% maybe. You got the numbers are actually down slightly, but the volume's up a little bit. All these agents are up, way up. Eddie Chavez was up 53% in Corona. Monica Nogales was up 62%. David Ramirez up 180%. Frank Garcia up 78%. Frank Lopez 56%. Patty Rios 166%. Richard Erskine up 600%.
Lynn Hunt,
What did I say?
Wayne.
Oh, sorry, I apologize. And Ronald Schwartz was up 183%. So in Irvine, we had Dee Dee Kavanaugh was up 199%. Esther and Mike Vasquez up 125%. Liz, 165%. Jennifer Matsumoto, interesting, was only up 35%. At the same time, she also made over $1 million. So, darn. Kathy Ashford, 326%. Laura Thomas up 97%. Suzanne Draper was up. She did almost no business in 2020, taking care of her family, made $160,000 in 2021. So we had Meg Middleman up 125%. August Wen, 246. August Logan, 53. Christian Segura, again, was way up, infinite percentage. Esther Berg, 173%. Ignacio, 134%. Maria Alonso, 180%. And that was up after having a wonderful baby. So it's like, wow, cool. Marie Sun up 300. Moni Chan up 317. Oscar Trejo up 63. Romeo Serrano, 56. Stephanie Chang, 133. And Tess Marquez, 46%. That's damn near everybody in the company. Take advantage of what we're doing and what we're helping you with. Do the work on a regular basis. It's about baby steps consistently, not giant steps occasionally. We're coming back into the offices. Join us, okay? It's not the end all to be all. We still want you on the doors. There's plenty of business out there. You just have to go ask for it. Questions on anything I covered? Excuse me. Okay, everybody wants tacos, go. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate you all being here.
Cinco Neil.
Everyone goes outside.
Thank you.
Go where?